So today I'll be going through the integration between Suprema and ACT Pro. It has only been newly announced as this month, but now, as it seems, we are able to use Suprema devices on ACT Pro and ACT systems. Our test board is an ACT 1520E access controller, and we're going to be using a BioStation 3 or the W3 as a setup. The setup wiring wise is that you're going from your Wigan outputs on the back of the Suprema devices into the inputs on the ACT 1520E controller. When you have this devices online, there's a little bit of setup software wise that you have to go through in order for the parity between our Wigan output on our devices from Suprema to match with ACT, and I'll be going through these. So in our devices, we want to nominate which device is going to be connected to our ACT system to use the ACT credentials. So in this instance, there's BioEntry W3 that hasn't been set up. To set this up, you need to first go into your authentication and card type. So we want to enable the format from normal to Wigan. This will give us a warning and say the format type determines how to read cards from a device. That's fine. Click OK. And the Wigan format that we're using is a MyFair CSN 32-bit. We also want to include Wigan card just in case. MyFair CSN 32. You scroll all the way down into advanced, and this is where we're going to set up our device to pair with the ACT system in order for us to give user output of access denied or access granted. So the first thing we do is set our Wigan on the back of the device to an output. Pulse width we leave at 40. Pulse interval we change to between 800 to 1000. In this instance I'll say 1000. And then our Wigan input format, CSN MyFair 32-bit. Our trigger and actions, we want to add two rules. One is an input from port 0. Switch is normally open. Duration is 40 milliseconds. And we want to include the schedule to be always. The action of this trigger will be our access granted, and it's the exact same settings for our access denied. So we just include it again. Input, port 0, normally open, 40 milliseconds. Always on, function, access denied, and apply. So once this is set up, failed to add our fail code. Leave this at 0x00. This is just to determine the fail code from the Suprema device to go to the ACT controller in order to give you access or denied access. After we hit apply, if our wiring is correct, going by the specifications of the wiring diagram, you will need to use BioStar 2 in conjunction with ACT Manage. So BioStar 2 now will just be a hosted database. All of the users now will be implemented within ACT to add a new user onto your BioStar, with the addition of a middleware software provided by Suprema. So the middleware acts as a middleman that transports the information from ACT to BioStar, and BioStar converts that information back through its Wigan outputs to the ACT controller, gaining you access. So we'll minimize our middleware now at the moment, and we'll log into our ACT Manage. So in ACT, we want to add our user, assign them a free user number. In this case, 5, test, KD, email, just going to put in a test email, mobile number 0123456789, user group, full access, and that's all you need to do.
ACT will then already pre-generate a card number for the user, save it on its database, and the job of our middleware now is to get that information and carry it across. Once it's come up on our middleware, if we check back on BioStar into our users, we'll have the test. So in our test, we can give them, they've already pre-generated a CSN number. So now this card will be active. In the middleware then, to assign any biometrics for fingerprint, facial or mobile credentials for that user, you simply press the button of the pencil to edit the icon and then select the device. So we want to use our BioEntry W3. We hit scan. The BioEntry will then capture a face. It'll be brought to the middleware software and saved onto our BioStar. And then that CSN number that ACT 365 or ACT Pro manage that has given that user will be associated with their face and their biometric credentials. So for the ACT for Suprema products, we need to go in through the Wiegand ports. On our ACT panel up here, we have a Cat5 cable just bridged into the clock data point 1, data point 0 data. Then we have our ground, our red and our green. The red and green's sole purpose is to give feedback to the user. So on our Cat5 cable, you can see our red and green is our brown and bright white cable. Our ground is our solid blue. Our data 0 is our green, and our green white is our data clock 1.
So our Wago clips here are connecting and bridging the connections from our Cat5 that is going inside our ACT panel to our Suprema devices. So here on the solid green, we have our green inputs, a green and black input from the W3 and our green from the BioStation 3. This is going to data D0. Then our ground is just solid blue. 2 of the black cables from each of the units, each of the grounds, doesn't matter which one. And then on this one, we have our green and white cables, anodized by the white cable for the BioStation 3, our black and white cable for the BioEntry W3. This is our D1 input for Wiegand. So these are the most 2 important for Wiegand inputs. Next, we want to go from TTL in the back of the Suprema BioStation 3, TTL 0 and 1 or input 0 and 1, IN01 on the the BioEntry W3. So we want to go then obviously to the brown and white cable and brown cable that's going into our ACT panel.